Welcome to Joe's Astrology, and I'm talking about marriage in this video and how to find out what potential partners you might have, how many partners, what your marriage would be like, what some of the challenges are. We can look at all this in astrology, specifically looking at your natal chart, looking at your partner's natal chart, looking at the history, some history if we have it of your life. Contact me if you'd like to do that through an astrology reading. That's the best way to do this. But in this video, I'm just going to take you through some of the things that I've learned and seen that work well in finding out this information. So we're going to look at Oprah Winfrey's chart here. She's a Sagittarius rising there at 29 degrees. We have Gemini on the 7th house cusp. And Gemini is a sign that it's a mutable sign. You would expect, or you would presume that there could be more than one marriage. Because of that, it's a dual sign. You could presume that perhaps there'd be two marriages. Out of all the signs, this is one of the signs that is going to be you're less likely going to expect something traditional, something long-term, and you may expect something a little bit different, just in general, with Gemini being there on the 7th house cusp. Of course, you have to look at the whole chart. Doesn't rule out all of the possibilities. But this combination of Sagittarius and Gemini also can be, people are here to learn with Sagittarius and the Sagittarius rising. They're usually explorers. They're restless. Gemini is a restless sign, and on and on. So there's that. Now let's look at Oprah Winfrey and see some of the other things that could change that or alter that. So we see she does have, in this chart, she has Uranus in Cancer in the 7th house. And that's gonna bring some differences here. Number one, we can see that the relationship might be unusual. There could be unusual relationships. There could be something that's different. And also we see Cancer being involved, that would definitely mitigate that, all the things that were said about the Gemini, meaning she may be more interested in a home and family and emotional security that a long-term relationship can bring. And then, of course, from the financial side, we already know that she's very wealthy, and we can look at the rest of the chart and see that there is signs of money and wealth and interest in that. So that could be something that correlates with Cancer as well. So right away we see that with her. She's knowing what I know, that she hasn't been married, but she's been in one relationship for 30 years, and we see that that's a little bit unusual, not to be legally married, no kids. So we definitely see that Uranus coming into play. And then the Cancer aspect with that long 30-year relationship. And then from a whole sign house, we could see she does have Jupiter in would be Jupiter in the 7th as well, which would definitely give more indication that she's going to have some good fortune around a marriage type relationship. So let's dive a little deeper and see, well, what is the ruler? What's the ruler of the 7th house and the 1st house? And it's Mercury and Jupiter. So if we go to Mercury, and she has Mercury in the 2nd house in Aquarius, and that is a fixed sign. That's considered a fixed house. It's a Taurus house. So we see the ruler of the 7th house having that Taurus influence. And as I spoke in the last video, that's one of the most positive signs for a long-term committed relationship, or not or we just say one long-term marriage, and the ruler there being there, and then an Aquarius as well. We can see that influencing and showing us that long-term relationship that she has as well. So say you have Gemini on the seventh house cusp. Where's Mercury? If it's in the second or if it's in the eighth, it's you're more likely to have that long-term relationship. You still might be restless. The relationship might have restless qualities or changeable qualities, but you have a better chance of having a longer term relationship despite that. We can look at the Jupiter again, coming back here. The Jupiter is in the 6th, 7th whole sign, and it's making a trine to that Mercury as well. So we see the rulers between the 1st and the 7th are in that easy flowing harmonious aspect that is a trine, and it's moving. That Mercury is moving towards it's moving away, but it's moving away from the trine, but it's so close that I don't think there's really much there. This is a really good indicator, having it be a trine, that she would be in a long-term committed relationship that is fairly harmonious. We can also see the Venus, if we want to look at Mars and Venus is in the 2nd house as well, in the fixed sign. And then the Mars is in Scorpio in the 11th, another fixed sign and fixed house, if we correlate that with Aquarius. And the Mars-Venus phase. The Mars is at 23 degrees, the Venus is at 8 degrees. Now here it is moving towards a square. Mars is squaring Mercury, so this could be something to consider as well, having that Mars-Venus square moving towards a square. That maybe looking at her life, we could see maybe later in life there will be a separation of some sort. See if we could look at some other things to indicate that, but really, generally speaking, looking at this chart, definitely could see possibility for a long-term relationship. And again, as I said about the Uranus stuff. Oh, she also has the South Node in Cancer. This is going to be huge right here. I didn't notice that because the symbol's not there. And Uranus is there. So she's really coming into life with this 7th house orientation. So really a predisposition to all the things I said about the 7th house and Cancer. So there's that. So we do see with this combination of South Node Uranus in Cancer, that's going to be more of a predisposition to valuing these marriage type relationships, these partnerships. And then, of course, all of the 2nd house, and the Capricorn North Node, and all of the Scorpio. So very much a committed person here because of all of that. And hope you enjoy this. Thanks for watching, and let's go to Cancer on the 7th house cusp.